Hello everyone and welcome to Tournament 6 of Next Level Jumping. We're back with an impressive 50 out of 50 competitors returning today. And if I sound weird, that's because I'm sick. So call this my Michael Jordan sick game for calling commentary here. But let's kick off stage 1. Kicking us off, making their 4th appearance, it's Carolina. Back with the new obstacle, the Kraken. It's probably the toughest first obstacle stage 1 we have had so far, but Carolina makes short work of it. On to the Diamond Dash. Carolina going through the diamonds very nicely. This is already better than most first attempts at the stage. The Ring Magician now. Carolina struggles on his first go. Gets it on his second. Now on to the second ring. Oh, looked like he wanted to go backwards, but he goes forwards barely gets on that third ring. Running low on time here, struggling to get up onto the third block. Still struggling. Carolina finally gets up top, but only 20 seconds left onto the X-Spider. Did not get a good bounce and is going to come up short. Our first competitor is out on the X-Spider. So we're on to Bubble. Bubble going for the Kraken. Bubble's going to slip off of the first little ledge there. Yeah, that obstacle. Probably the toughest jump is the mount onto the obstacle, so makes sense to fail that. Acorns now on the course. Acorns going on to the Diamond Dash. A little bit of lag. Acorns is doing alright though. And through the Diamond Dash. Onto the Ring Magician, sizing it up, going straight down the middle. It's impressive. Gonna go backwards here now. Going on to the third ring. Going pretty quickly through this obstacle. 40 seconds left, really good pace. Now into the X-Spider. Acorns gets a save jump. Gonna try to stick on that window, but slips off of it. Alrighty, we are now on to TNA Cobras, making his second appearance. Failed the wrong hill before on his first appearance. Now Cobra's going through, and Cobras slips off of the Kraken. Another first obstacle failure. So we're on to Archangel Via. Now on to the Kraken, and she also fails that obstacle. Alrighty, this obstacle taking out names as we had Biggies, who was another victim of the Kraken. This time it was the dismount. And then after him, we had Dulces. I think that's how you say that. I don't really know. She failed the dismount of the Diamond Dash. And then Spluttery Elm got all the way to the Ring Magician. Fortunately, could not beat that obstacle. Just slipped off that first ring ever so slightly. And that's all it takes. And then Blesher, another Kraken victim. As we're on to the first finisher of the tournament is Wet Like You. Yes, this gamer tag is indeed back. Flies through the Kraken, no issues there whatsoever. Onto the Diamond Dash. Wet Like You gets that third one to go up and gets the dismount. Go on that right side of the Ring Magician. This obstacle has been here since Tournament 3. It's claimed a good amount of competitors. Wet Like You. Nice methodical pace so far. 35 left going into the X-Spider. But Like You goes straight for the second window, but gets bumped by it, and he is out. Alrighty, a fifth of the way through the tournament. No one's beaten the X-Spider so far, as we are on to Faults. Faults gonna take a little bit of time on that first step of the Kraken. Gets onto the third, going to the fourth, and Faults is through it. Now making his way onto the Diamond Dash. Gets that second one to go up really high. Third one, gets that one going, and gets the dismount. Onto the Ring Magician. And gets up top on that block first try. Faults is going to do it the harder way. And he overshoots the third ring. Faults is out. So we're on to Limba. Hasn't been on this course in a while, but he is back, making his third appearance. And he is already out. quick return there by Limba as we're on to the Queenish. It's been in every single tournament since Tournament 2, and that is her worst run. This obstacle has already done more damage than all the other first obstacles. As we are on to another person who has beaten stage 1 in the past, it is Tufei. Tufei cleared back in Tournament 2 with just half a second left. I believe she failed the double salmon ladder on stage 2. Or swap salmon ladder, I meant. I don't even know my own obstacles. Tufei gets through the Diamond Dash onto the Ring Magician. Going for that left side. Doesn't get up first try. Does on her second. Tufei gets on to the second ring. Going for the third. Gonna swap sides. And Tufei gets a perfect run through it. Onto the X-Spider. This has taken her out in the past. Tufei is not going to get a good angle off that window and completely misses the Sea Serpents. So we're on to It's Scarlet, making his 5th appearance. He missed the last tournament, I believe. The only tournament he has missed. Scarlet, a decent pace through the Kraken. Onto the Diamond Dash. Kind of floats over the second one, gets the third one going really high, and Scarlet is through. Ring Magician time now. Scarlet has put up some decent runs on the course, hasn't cleared yet, but still some decent runs to show for it. Scarlet gonna go back and forth here. Alrighty, Scarlet gets through with about 30 seconds left onto the X-Spider, going for that right side. Going straight for the second window, going to take a save jump, and will be the first competitor to move on to the modified Sea Serpents today. Scarlet really running low on time though. He's going to want to get moving as he gets a massive bounce onto the second Serpent. Barely gets across, gets a save jump, but the klaxon sounding. He needs to fly, but he comes up short of the last obstacle. Well, after that, we had Azia Kumai, who I believe also is only missed the last tournament. Either way, he failed the Kraken here today. And then we had Rizabear, who competed, I believe, a couple tournaments ago, failed the second obstacle, failed it here again today. And then we had Chizuru, who put up his second best run today, going out on the Sea Serpents. Now we are on to Silay, one of the AE clan kids. We already saw Buble go out at the very first jump. Silay has already done better than that. Silay's through it and onto the Diamond Dash. Onto the third, gets the third one going high and gets the fourth and a stop on it a little bit. Silay's through onto the Ring Magician now. Moving across nicely. Do it the harder way, but quicker way. Takes a save jump and gets up top. All right, Silay back to the X-Spider. And oh, a terrible bounce. Got kind of a false bounce. Landed too far forward on that trampoline. As we are on to Zepsi. He's cleared a couple times in the past and had some pretty bad runs. And that is an even worse run. Zepsi, the first jump of stage 1, takes him out. You gotta be kidding me. A man who got tied for first place in Tournament 1 just failed the first jump. Well, I guess you gotta expect the unexpected here, as Zepsi, just the first jump of stage 1 takes him out. Caesari cleared back in Tournament 1 alongside Zepsi. Failed the metal spin in that tournament, has not done really anything since. So let's see what he can do today. Caesari going for that third diamond, gets it going really high and gets through it. Caesari always switching the secondary color of his armor. I guess that's kind of his thing. I don't even know which colors he's had so far, like orange, blue, green, purple, maybe red. Caesari gets on that second block of the Ring Magician. Now the third gets up top, but running low on time, only 28 seconds left. Going for the X-Spider, and did not get a good jump to that second window and hits his head on the pole. So we're on to It's Aura. To be honest, doing commentary while being sick, it's really hard to catch my breath, but the show must go on. Its Aura is onto the Diamond Dash. Aura getting through. Very nicely done. Gonna go straight up the middle on the Ring Magician. Alright, Aura. Showing off his skills. Gets a save jump on that third ring. And now into the X-Spider with just under 40 seconds left. A very fast pace. Going for that second window and just walks off of it. Aura was doing really well. But unfortunately could not get a jump off that second window. So we're on to a man who on his first appearance in Tournament 3, I believe failed the very last obstacle. Yeah, that was Tournament 3. Either way, he put up a good run. Wolf Shinobi is back with my least favorite number 23. So far, so good as he's on to the Ring Magician. This up first try. On that left side. See, can he get these all first try, Wolf Shinobi? No, he cannot. I jinxed him. And he's going to go back to that second ring, go up top, not waste any time. As he is onto the X-Spider now. Left side to the right side. Beautiful. Onto the Sea Serpents, going straight for that second side with a save jump. Gets a good bounce onto the second Serpent. Just going to cut left and go straight for it. Wolf Shinobi will be the first person to attempt the Captain's Cabin. Under 15 seconds left. Wolf Shinobi gets there. The klaxon is going to start sounding, but it doesn't matter. Wolf Shinobi clears stage 1 for the first time in his career. And he did so with my least favorite number. Number 23 has beaten stage 1. Wolf Shinobi put up decent runs before, but now he has pulled through. X-Spider attempt was a thing of beauty, and then the first person to attempt the Captain's Cabin, he did it the exact way you're supposed to do it. And well done to Wolf Shinobi. As we're on to Obey Girly. I believe another competitor who was making their 5th appearance that missed the last tournament. I could be wrong though. Probably am. As Obey Girly getting through the crack, and as my cat just had a complete meltdown and just failed to jump up onto the dresser. That is very unfortunate. Obey Girly gets the third one going real high, and now the fourth just about gets a dismount. On the Ring Magician, doesn't get up first try. Second try just about gets it. Now onto the second ring, gonna go back to the first, not gonna waste any more time trying to go up to the block right away. And Obey Girly comes up short of that third block, trying to rush it. The next competitor to take on Stage 1 is Condrith, formerly known as Varroy in Tournament 1, where he failed the X-Spider. Tournament 2, though, he was the first finisher of that tournament, beating Stage 1 with not a lot of time left, but he has failed Stage 1 in Tournament 4 here. He failed the jump onto the final climb. In the last tournament, Condrith did get back to Stage 2, but his old pal, the Metal Spin, took him out. Condrith back for his 6th appearance, halfway through the tournament now. The finisher hoping to get his, I believe, 4th Stage 1 clear. Clear in tournaments 2, 3, and 5, I believe. So let's see if he can get back to Stage 2. Doesn't get a lot of height off that third diamond, kind of bouncing his way up. He's on to the Ring Magician now. His worst run is the X-Spider, which he failed in Tournament 1 as Varroy. Had a pretty high number too, he had number 48 in that tournament. I expected great things from him, and so far he's done pretty well on this course. X-Spider right here, gonna take a save jump, go for the Sea Serpents, he's got it. Condrith looking to make it back to Stage 2 with over 20 seconds left, doesn't get a good bounce, and Condrith has failed the Sea Serpents for the 2nd time in his career. Condrith, he probably hit the A button too early there in that bouncer, and that's usually what happens, makes you come up short. Unfortunately, Condrith will not be moving on to Stage 2, and neither will OO Ghost, who failed the first obstacle of Stage 1. And after that, we had Invixi back for his 5th appearance, overshot the Ring Magician, first ring right there. And then after Invixi, we had Beams making his 2nd appearance, first time since Tournament 2, I believe. He went out on the X-Spider. And in the last run in this digest session, we had Bashful, who also failed the X-Spider. He's failed his obstacle in the past, and he's failed it again here today. So we're on to a man who almost beat Stage 1 in the last tournament. It's Nightblade. He failed exactly what Condrith failed in Tournament 4. The mount onto the last obstacle. Nightblade kind of levitating through that 2nd diamond. I don't know what it is with that 2nd diamond, but people are kind of just ghosts on it. So Nightblade so far doing pretty good. Gonna go back and forth on the Ring Magician. Gets onto that 3rd ring, just about, almost undershot it. As he's going straight into the X-Spider. Nightblade's failed the first obstacle in the past, but he just absolutely destroyed the X-Spider. 30 seconds left. Now the jump that Condrith failed, Nightblade gets it. And now going in for the 2nd side, that 2nd Serpent, Nightblade gets the dismount this time. He's shooting at the Captain's cabin. He doesn't really know where to go, but he's doing it. And now just dismount, he shoots at it, and Nightblade on his 6th appearance gets his first Stage 1 clear. The 2nd competitor this tournament to move on to Stage 2. Nightblade has done it with a interesting last obstacle attempt. He looked like he wanted to go to the left there, but instead went right, shot at it, got up top onto, or at least onto that middle bar, and the little corner jump onto the cylinder, and then it was just a dismount from there, and he is home free. Alrighty, we are 30 runs into the tournament. We have 2 clears so far, as we're on to a competitor who I think is due for a Stage 1 clear, Raven. Raven's done pretty well in this course, had some decent runs. I know she's at least fed the warped wall. I believe she timed out in the last obstacle before as well. So a couple of timeouts in her career. She's onto the Ring Magician right now. Doesn't get up first try, or second. Raven gets up on her 3rd try, but that cost her some time. She's already been struggling with time in her career. As I said, she's timed out twice, and she is really struggling on the Ring Magician. This is unbelievable. Raven finally gets up top, less than 30 seconds, and just overshoots the 3rd ring. Not the best performance by Raven there, as we're on to Nazpika. Nazpika making his 4th appearance here today. And it's gonna go pretty fast through the Kraken here. It's always nice to see. Onto the Diamond Dash. Gets on the 2nd, the 3rd, gets going real high, gets the 4th, and the dismount. He goes straight up the middle on the Ring Magician, the 3rd competitor to do that here today. Nazpika at a really good pace so far. Gets onto that 3rd ring, going back up top, and onto the 4th, but completely misses the block. Nazpika is out on the Ring Magician. We're on to Nurzes. I don't know how you say that, but he's back for his 2nd appearance on the Kraken, and is out on it. All right, well, that was quick. So we're on to Ioku. Ioku has put up some really decent runs on Stage 1 as well, kind of like Raven, but has not been able to beat the 1st stage. As Ioku is onto the Diamond Dash. It's on that 3rd diamond, going up to the 4th, and is through it. Ioku on the Ring Magician. We go back and forth here. Just cost Nazpika as he completely missed the 3rd, but Ioku's just going straight for it. Gets a huge bounce and is through the X-Spider. Ioku is onto the Sea Serpents with over 30 seconds left. Plenty of time. Ioku gets a huge bounce, and oh my goodness, what a save jump. Ioku taking some time there as he's on to the last obstacle now. 20 seconds left, plenty of time to beat this stage, but he gets pushed away, gets a save jump. Ioku Okay, now you're gonna want to get through this obstacle right here. And now Ioku misses it again and gets bumped off the obstacle. Ioku is out on stage 1 again. So close to getting his first stage 1 clear, and it's been taken away from him just like that. When we are now on to another competitor who's been doing really good without a clear, Navai. Navai has failed the Sea Serpents I don't know how many times now, but it hasn't been real good for her, but she's onto the Diamond Dash. 6th time was in fact the charm for Nightblade, so hopefully it will be for Navai here. You're gonna go straight up the middle. Another competitor to do that. Navai is gonna do the Ring Magician the classic way. The way you're meant to do the obstacle. Navai 40 seconds in the X-Spider. Really good pace right now. Gonna take a save jump on the first window of the X-Spider. That's always difficult to do. But Navai gets through it and back to the Sea Serpents. This obstacle has cost her so many times. And Navai now going across. Now just dismount. Remains 20 seconds left for Navai. Navai fails the Sea Serpents again. Navai can't do it. The last jump, she's failed the dismount before in this obstacle, and it claims her yet again. Navai, another deep stage 1 run, but it is just not meant to be. So after that, we had Demon Sinner, I believe hasn't even competed since tournament 1 or 2, went out on the second obstacle, the Diamond Dash right there. And then we had Izanami of War, who went out on the Ring Magician. Feels like Izanami of War is always getting digested, but it is what it is. And then we had Dottie, who, another person I feel like always gets digested. She went out on the Diamond Dash. And then our final digest of the tournament, we had a competitor who I know who hasn't competed since tournament 1, where he became the first ever first obstacle victim. And he became one of many to fail the first obstacle of this tournament. So we're on to Ms. Luxury. Missed the last tournament. Back for 5th appearance. Almost fails him out onto the first obstacle. And take it nice and steady here on the Kraken. Gets through onto the Diamond Dash. Ms. Luxury doing well. Gets through the Diamond Dash. Oh, does she? No, she does not. Kicking off the final 10 of stage 1 is Hauze. Hauze cleared stage 1 in tournament 1, and the next 2 tournaments had a failure on the X-Spider and a failure on the Sea Serpents. Cleared again in tournament 4, I believe, and Hauze in the last tournament went out on the short circuit. The first ever person to attempt it failed that obstacle. Hauze is ready. He's ready to go. Number 25 in the last tournament was able to beat stage 1. Hauze onto the Diamond Dash. Oh my goodness, what a lag spike. Hauze on the Diamond Dash, lagging so much. My goodness, Hauze. Onto the Ring Magician now. Still lagging. Hauze gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Doesn't get up top first try or second try. Now gonna do it the easier way. Hauze doesn't want to waste too much time here. Hauze went for it again there, struggled. Now Hauze is down to just 30 seconds into the X-Spider. Gonna want to pick it up here. Hauze full sends it. That's a good start. Now onto the Sea Serpents. Hauze is getting moving. Hauze gonna cut left. And gets a save jump, pulls it back. 15 seconds left. Hauze is not gonna want to slip up on this obstacle. Hauze gets up top. And Hauze, for the 4th time in his career, will be moving on to stage 2 with 5 seconds left on the clock. Well done. So we are now on to Reina. Hasn't competed in a while. And gets a horrible jump on that second Kraken, little tentacle there. As we are now on to Zampira, the regular, making his 6th appearance. Her, I mean. Again, it's hard to keep track. I always forget. Zampira, so far so good through the first obstacle onto the Diamond Dash now. She's put up some good runs. She gets through the Diamond Dash. A walk onto the Ring Magician now. Gets up top. Zampira doing this obstacle pretty quickly so far. Gets onto that third block. And now into the X Spider. And Zampira comes up short of it. Zampira out on stage 1 for the 5th or 6th time. I already forgot what appearance that was for her. So we are now on to Affectionate. My goodness, my voice is dying. Affectionate barely timed out on stage 1 last tournament. She got first place out of the people who did fail stage 1. So she is now eyeing that first stage 1 clear. Now she's on the Ring Magician. And turn around midair there. Get up top to that first block. Now I'm gonna go back and forth on these rings. Affectionate doing really well so far. Almost came up short, getting back up top on that second one. But she's onto the X Spider now. Gets a good bounce. And beautiful attempt. Gets onto the Sea Serpents. This obstacle has taken her out before. Affectionate. Just over 20 seconds left now as she jumps across to that second part of the second serpent. Now the dismount. She just about gets it. She's back to the last obstacle. Affectionate. Could this be it? The klaxon's about to start sounding, but Affectionate gets her first stage 1 clear here in tournament 6 of Next Level Jumping. She will be moving on to stage 2, becoming the 4th finisher of the tournament. Well done to Affectionate. 8.1 seconds left on that clock. She barely got onto the captain's cabin, but she did get through the obstacle, stared down that finish line. She's going to stage 2. As we are on to Kokay. Kokay's beaten stage 1 in all of the last 4 tournaments, only failed stage 1 in tournament 1. Oh, he gets a bad jump off that second tentacle, but Kokay just about gets through the crack, and that was a pretty close call on the first obstacle. But he's onto the Diamond Dash now. Gets that third one going up high, and perfect attempt at that obstacle. Now I'm going to go straight up the middle of the Ring Magician. Kokay, not really known for his speed, but right now he is cooking through the stage. Kokay going straight onto the X Spider, gets a huge bounce. And Kokay is flying onto the Sea Serpent. Gets a save jump, but he gets pushed out and off of it. Kokay out on stage 1 for the first time since tournament 1. He was cooking through that stage, but he had so much momentum off the Sea Serpents. The save jump just pushed him out, and he is off. One of the very best right now is Lucid Dreams. Lucid Dreams has defeated stage 1 in every single tournament. Tournaments 3 and 4, she got to stage 3. Tournament 3 went out on the curtain climb on her first attempt at that stage. In tournament 4, she would once again defeat that second stage, just about off that dismount, and then put up her personal best run to date, failing the crazy cliffhanger, the jump up to that second ledge. In the last tournament, she put up her worst result ever, however, failing the Broken Ridge. Lucid Dreams taking a step back in the last tournament. Hopefully that does not cost her here in tournament 6. Gotta have a good mindset going in this tournament, as stage 1 has so far been pretty difficult. 45 runs, only 4 clears. Lucid Dreams hoping to keep her first stage clear record alive, as she barely gets onto that 4th diamond, but she's able to do it. Now onto the Ring Magician. And you can see her nameplate's a little different. It's not Lucid Dreams 791 anymore. She wanted to get rid of those numbers, so I did that. As Lucid Dreams is onto the X Spider now. Perfect. Who would have doubted her? 30 seconds onto the Sea Serpents. Lucid Dreams very methodical, but she's at a quicker pace than usual. Lucid Dreams over 20 seconds, gonna go for the dismount, barely gets on to the captain's cabin, but she is now onto that little ledge, but she slips off. Lucid Dreams, she was able to save it. Onto the cylinder. I'm losing my voice as the klaxon sounds, but Lucid Dreams for the 6th tournament in a row will be moving on to stage 2. Oh, close call there. on the captain's cabin, but Lucid Dreams able to make it work. It was close here on the Diamond Dash as she kind of did get that diamond to go up all the way, but she was able to make it work. And the Sea Serpents never failed, obviously never failed any obstacle in stage 1. It was a beautiful attempt at this obstacle. But the dismount here was a little bit close. She just about got it, and she did slip off of that little cylinder there once, but she was able to recover, not lose her composure. She got back onto that cylinder, just about. It was a bit close. And then Lucid Dreams is going back to stage 2. Next up on stage 1 is Resumed. Resumed, she has had quite the story here on Next Level Jumping. The first 4 tournaments of this course, she went out on stage 2, but in the last tournament, she was a different animal, defeating stage 1 for a 5th time, and on stage 2, she not only defeated stage 2, she absolutely destroyed it with 16 seconds left, where she would go out on the crazy cliffhanger of stage 3. Resumed, the veteran now. She has been absolutely insane to watch, especially on Trials of Achilles as well. She's been doing very good, but Resumed right here onto the Diamond Dash. She gets through that obstacle onto the Ring Magician, gonna go straight up the middle. She is always a very fast competitor, so I do not expect anything less out of her. Resumed. Now onto the X-Spider. Resumed gets onto that window, and the second and Resumed is through it. Now gonna go straight across in the Sea Serpent. She's got over 30 seconds left. She's absolutely flying. Nightblade has the fastest time right now of 9.4, but she is destroying the stage right now. Gets so high onto that ledge, but it gets pushed out. Resumed, but a quick recovery. This is not hindering her whatsoever. Resumed is going to beat the Klaxon, destroying stage 1 with 14.7 seconds left on the clock. And for the 6th tournament in a row, just like Lucid Dreams, she will be moving on to the 2nd stage. Resumed. I'm surprised she didn't go for that skip there in the Ring Magician, considering the speed she had all throughout her run. But she did have a little mistake here, kind of got pushed away by that ledge on the wheel. But Resumed had a quick recovery, and for the 6th time, she will be moving on to stage 2. As we're now on to Satreya. Satreya has also been really impressive to watch, taking a safe jump there on that first step of the Kraken. But Satreya in the last 2 tournaments has gotten to stage 3, got first place in tournament 4, and the last tournament did get tied 3rd with Resumed. But Satreya beating stage 1 all the last 3 tournaments, failed it in tournaments 1 and 2. But Satreya hopefully can get back to stage 2 here today. So far, he's looking really good. Going back and forth on the Ring Magician. And now onto the X-Spider. Gets in that first window, and it gets bumped off the 2nd window. Satreya is out on stage 1 for the first time since tournament 2. Satreya, those last 2 runs he had was great, but here today, the X-Spider claims a great competitor in Satreya. That is very unfortunate to see. The second last competitor to take on stage 1 is last tournament's finalist, Nzika. Nzika in tournament 4 came out of nowhere, getting the speed record on stage 1. And his first attempt at stage 2, he almost defeated it, failing the very last jump of the stage. In the last tournament, Nzika once again get the fastest time on stage 1 and would get the fastest time on stage 2, setting another speed record on this course with 19.1 seconds. But stage 3 was the real story of this entire course so far. Nzika, his first attempt at the stage, he defeated it, becoming the first and only competitor onto the final stage so far on this course. He would struggle on the brick climb on stage 4 though, unfortunately not able to get total victory, but he is ready to make an impact here in Tournament 6 and hopefully get that total victory. Zika, just outstanding to watch in both the last 2 tournaments. This guy, already a veteran on his 3rd appearance, a very quick competitor as we have seen, setting the stage 1 and 2 speed record. And I know this is stupid, but technically stage 3 speed record as well. But we don't talk about that. Zika getting through the Diamond Dash. Going straight up the middle, would not expect anything less out of him. Zika is gonna destroy the Ring Magician. This is just how it goes. And Zika now onto the X-Spider. And he's gonna do the Jelly skip. We haven't seen that in a while, but he gets it with a save jump. And Zika is cooking through stage 1, just like we expected him to do. He's onto the captain's cabin. And Zika is doing really well right now, but he slips a little bit. But he's able to save it. He's shooting. He's probably pissed off that cost him so much time. But I don't think it's really going to matter. And Zika is still going to get the fastest time. 15.8 seconds left. He was shaking his head there. I know he's probably upset at that little slip up at the end. But still, what a fantastic run. As Zika is 3 for 3 on stage 1 to start off his career. You can see here, he got onto the ledge you usually slip off of. And then he slipped off with that little spoke there on the wheel, but he was able to recover and make it back to stage 2. The last competitor to take on stage 1 today is the 3-time first place finisher, Jelly. Jelly got to stage 3 for the first time, became the first competitor to get there ever in Tournament 2, where she would fail the event pyramid. Getting first place, would once again to get first place, even though she took a step back in Tournament 3 on the crazy cliffhanger. Tournament 4, she would put up her worst run since Tournament 1, failing the Rocky Road. And then in the last tournament, she would put up her best result, getting second place, failing the Crooked Escape. Jelly, the last competitor to take on stage 1 for the 4th tournament in a row, I believe. She's been doing really well. Arguably, I would consider her the favorite still to get total victory in this course, even though last tournament we saw Zika get to the final stage. But Jelly is such an impressive competitor to watch. She's onto the Ring Magician. Jelly is onto that second ring. Gets up top. Now onto the 3rd ring. Jelly full sending so far, and didn't really do the skip on the Ring Magician, but she's gonna do the skip on the X-Spider. That's her skip. No save jump required. She's so good at it. But she's full sending the Sea Serpents, and she's on to the captain's cabin. And Jelly is climbing up really fast right now. Jelly, oh my goodness, and Zika's gonna be absolutely pissed. Jelly beats stage 1 with 16 seconds left, the fastest time by 0.2 of a second, as Wolf Shinobi, Nightblade, Hauze, Affectionate, Lucid Dreams resumed, and Zika and Jelly are all moving on. As the first obstacle with a record 13 fails, is the most failed obstacle ever in the course's history by 1 failure over the X-Spider, which had 12 before. Well, like always, we are going straight into stage 2 with the Wolf Shinobi here today. I cleared my throat about 10 times before doing commentary for stage 2 here. So let's see how Wolf Shinobi can do on his first attempt ever at stage 2. Getting that first swing moving. Gets to the second swing. Yes, he's got it. This obstacle definitely takes the most time on the course, that's for sure. As Wolf Shinobi will defeat the double swing onto the short circuit. Hauze failed this in the last tournament. This jump right here, and Wolf Shinobi's also going to fail it. That's the second tournament in a row the first competitor on stage 2 has failed that jump. But onto our second of 3 competitors taken on stage 2 for their first time. It is Nightblade. Nightblade sprinting back and forth, getting the swing moving. Nightblade got it moving pretty good. Gets a huge jump onto that second swing. Nightblade and take one more punch and go for the dismount. Can he beat Wolf Shinobi? Yes, he can. Now the jump to the third block. He's got it. No save jump. Now going for the fourth. He gets that one as well. Still no save jumps. And Nightblade's going to beat the obstacle. And he's onto the Crumbling Path, the only new obstacle on this stage. These blocks do move. Can he be the first one to beat it? No, he cannot. Nightblade is out on stage 2. I forgot to mention that this time limit is definitely the strictest time limit in the course's history, besides stage 4, but that's obvious. Hauze is on stage 2 for his 4th time, I believe. He has done pretty well, I believe, on one of his stage 2 attempts. I could be wrong. He failed this jump right here in the last tournament. He's shooting at it, but he gets onto the second block this time around. Gets a stage jump on that third block. And gets one on the fourth as well. And Hauze is going to beat the obstacle. And he's onto the Crumbling Path, which just took out Nightblade. Hauze is going to beat the obstacle. He's onto the metal spin. Hauze is going for it, and Hauze gets through it. He sucked the ledge on the skywalk, but he's still safe jumping as the klaxon sounds. But Hauze is going to get his first ever stage 2 clear here today with 4.5 seconds left on the clock. Hauze has done it for the first time, becoming the second ever AE Clan kid to defeat stage 2. He got the jump which took him out in the last tournament. He's failed 2.3 before, and this new obstacle, he was the second to ever try it, the first one to beat it. And then he was onto the skywalk. He was a little low on time, but it did not matter, as Hauze is going to stage 3. Alrighty. We are on to Affectionate, the last competitor to take on the stage for the first time this tournament. Affectionate on that double swing. Affectionate, getting it moving. I'm losing brain cells, I'm so sick. Affectionate is going to do it in one jump. That's not a good idea. Affectionate comes up short of the dismount and fails the double swing. A rookie mistake, but her first stage 2 attempt comes to an end. As we're on to Lucid Dreams, who's definitely not a rookie on this stage. Her 6th time attempting it, hoping to get her 3rd stage 2 clear here today. Lucid Dreams getting that swing moving back and forth. Going for that second swing. Gets it. Lucid Dreams punching the second swing. Going for the dismount. Gets it beautifully. Onto Short Circuit. Lucid Dreams going for that third block. Almost overshoots it, but gets it with a save jump. The 4th one, no save jump required there. And Lucid Dreams with 25 seconds left onto the Crumbling Path. Lucid going back and forth, just about gets onto that third block, and Lucid Dreams is back to the metal swing. It's taking her out, and the passive is going to take her out again. Lucid Dreams did not get a good jump off of that first part of the metal spin here. You can see she was kind of lagging before she got onto it. She crouched, and it kind of pushed her away, and Lucid Dreams had no chance to recover. We are 5 rounds in, only 1 clear. Resume did beat this stage in the last tournament for her first time, hoping to do it again here today. She wants to prove that run last tournament was no fluke. Resumed punching this swing back and forth. Resumed gets onto the second swing. Resumed punching the swing back and forth as she gets the dismount onto the Short Circuit now. Resumed on that third ledge, going for the 4th and the 5th, and she is through. Onto the Crumbling Path now. We saw Nightblade fail this, but Resumed is not going to fail it. She is onto the metal spin. Resumed, she's going to swap sides. Now onto the skywalk, she's got it. 15 seconds left. She's failed this 2 tournaments ago, but that is not going to happen here today. Resumed has defeated stage 2 for her 2nd tournament in a row, and she will be moving on to stage 3 once again. She's got a chance to get revenge on that cliffhanger. The Crumbling Path A beautiful attempt at it from Resumed. She's failed 2.3 in the past, back in Tournament 2. And then the Skywalk. She looked really good on it here today. Was really quick on it and Resumed. 8.7 on the clock. She's going to stage 3. As we're on to another man looking to make it back to stage 3 for his second tournament in a row. It is Nzika. Let's see how Nzika can do here today. Nzika, of course, only going to take 3 punches on that first obstacle. We would expect nothing less out of him. Nzika threw it onto the short circuit. Nzika going very fast through this obstacle. Onto that 5th ledge, and he gets up top with 35 seconds left. Not even half time as he's onto the crumbling path. Nzika gets through the obstacle onto the metal spin. He's 2 for 2 on this obstacle. He's going to go straight down the left side, and he's going to beat the obstacle once again. 20 seconds into the Skywalk. Failed this 2 tournaments ago. The very last jump, he almost fails here today, but he is going back to stage 3 with 14.4 seconds left. The fastest time so far, and it's not even close. As we're on to Jelle. We've had a streak of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 clears in the first 5 tournaments on stage 2. But if Jelle clears, she'll be the 4th clear, so we will not get number 5. That streak has come to an end. Jelle right now punching her way on the double swing. And take one more punch here. And Jelle is through the obstacle onto the short circuit. She did have a slip up on this obstacle in the last tournament. It was this jump right here where she fell back down to the 2nd ledge, but she gets through it cleanly here today. Onto the crumbling path now. Jelle very nimble throughout this obstacle. The first 2 little pallets there don't even fall off. She's onto the metal spin. It took her out in tournament 1, but it's not going to take her out here today. She's onto the Skywalk. And she has come so far in this obstacle. She's so fast at it now. And she will be the 4th finisher on stage 2 this tournament. A very clean run out of Jelle as she gets her 5th stage 2 clear in a row on this course. The most by far. Metal spin, it was beautiful. And then the Skywalk. Comparing this to her tournament 2 run, it was so much better. Well done, Jelle. As there are 4 finishers on stage 2, Hauze, Resumed, and Nzika with the fastest time, and Jelle. Kicking us off on stage 3, it is Hauze, the only competitor on this stage to take it on for his first time. Let's see what he can do. It all starts with a ring drop. This stage is exactly the same as it was in the last tournament. Hauze gets through both drops, and he's through the obstacle onto Pendulum Alley. Gonna go for it in one jump. Gets the 2nd swing. And onto the 3rd pendulum. This one you need a lot of momentum for, though. Hauze is getting it moving, but he's kind of off to the left. But he's still able to make the dismount onto the curtain climb. Hauze goes for it. Hauze doesn't quite get it though, and his impressive run has come to an end on the 3rd stage at the hands of the curtain climb. But we are now on to Resumed. Failed the crazy cliffhanger in the last tournament. Oh, kind of struggling to get onto that starting line. She's shooting at it. But she is onto the ring drop. As my cat is meowing for some unknown reason. Resumed. Gets through the ring drop onto the Pendulum Alley now. Zoom gets a melee. And barely gets onto that 2nd pendulum. That was a bit close. She's onto the 3rd pendulum now. Resumed. Just like Hauze, it's moving off to the left, but Resumed is still able to make the dismount and onto the obstacle that Hauze just failed, but Resumed barely gets it. And she is going to have a chance at revenge here on the crazy cliffhanger. This jump she didn't struggle with in the last tournament. She gets it here again today. But this jump is where she failed in the last tournament. Can she get it this time? No, she cannot. Resumed. Her toenails were there, but she is not able to get the transfer on the crazy cliffhanger for the 2nd tournament in a row. You can see she was so close, but yet so far away. And Resumed is out on stage 3 once again, as we're on to a man who is looking to get back-to-back stage 3 clears. It is Zika. A little bit of showboating with a 360 on the ring drop. Must feel a little bit confident going into this run, considering the stage is exactly the same, and he beat it in the last tournament, so it's a good sign for Zika. Right now, he is getting this third pendulum moving on the pendulum alley. And he keeps it pretty straight. It's a good attempt there from Zika. Onto the curtain climb, he's going to slide into it and make it by a mile. In this tournament, he's actually going to use the tube. Thank you, Zika. Gets onto the second ledge of the crazy cliffhanger, and now the transfer. Zika doesn't even get a jump. And Zika is not going to make it back to the final stage here today. He didn't even jump off of the third ledge of the cliffhanger. He kind of rushed it, and that is all it takes to fail. As we're on to the last competitor standing now, it is Jelly. She knows what it's like to be the last competitor standing, as she has been, I believe, in tournaments 2, 3, 4, 3 times, as she's struggling to get this moving. Of course, you have to crouch down to get the ring drop moving. And Jelly gets through the obstacle. Now onto the pendulums. Onto the second one. Gonna go straight for the third. Seems to be the strat for everybody. Take 3 punches on this third swing. And Jelly kind of straightens out towards the end. That's kind of cool. And she gets the current climb just about, where her fellow AE Clan Kid member failed. And she's onto the crazy cliffhanger. This obstacle is already 0 for 2 this tournament. Can Jelly be the first and only one to get this transfer right here? She's failed in the past. Can she get it? Yes, she can. She's just guaranteed herself a 4th first place finish. She gets the lateral jump, and Jelly is back to the vent pyramid. It took her out in tournament 2. This jump right here, but she's got it. Jelly is flying through this obstacle. She's on the downward section, and she's going straight for it. Jelly destroying the vent pyramid, and now she's onto the obstacle that she failed in the last tournament, the crooked escape. She gets the first window, but this is the jump that she did fail last time. Jelly, she's got it. Jelly, just 2 obstacles left to go, and it begins with the hang climb. Jelly on the first rock, going for the second. She's got it. Now going for the third. She's got that just about. Now the hardest jump. She's got that. Jelly, just 1 more jump to go, and she beats the hang climb. She's onto the jumping bars. Jelly and Zika almost failed the jump, I believe, to the next bar right here in the last tournament, but Jelly gets it. 2 more bars. She's taking a save jump on each one. I do not blame her. And she's on to the last bar. The music stops as she lines herself up for a chance to make Halo jumping history. Jelly. She goes for it. Jelly has defeated stage 3 and has become the first ever female competitor to beat stage 1 in Halo jumping history. The 17-year span of Halo jumping, Jelly has done it. There is no one else throughout this course's history, which is very short, but there's no one else who deserves it more than Jelly. She becomes the 2nd competitor to ever defeat stage 3. The cliffhanger through the crooked escape. She's failed all 3 of those obstacles, but she was able to defeat them one by one here today. And Jelly, for the first time in her next level jumping career, will be moving on to stage 4. It took her 5 stage 3 attempts, but Jelly just pulled it off with a fantastic run. Jelly. The final jump in Zika last tournament, he needed a save jump to get the final jump, but Jelly this time, she absolutely killed the final jump. She didn't need no save jump whatsoever, made it by a mile. And well done to you, Jelly. We will be seeing you on stage 4. As Jelly now eyes down the final stage. 25 seconds for this final as she shoots up at the top. hoping to become the first competitor in Next Level Jumping history to achieve total victory. And Zika couldn't do it last tournament, but now it is Jelle's turn, and her shot all begins with the salmon ladder on stage 4. 25 seconds, and Jelle is off on stage 4. She is climbing up. She's up the first couple rungs, now going for the 6th one. She struggles to get up it. Jelle, she's making a bunch of slip-ups. This is not good for her time. She slips down, she shoots, and she gets pushed off the final stage. It is all over for Jelle. The salmon ladder claims Jelle. She does not get as close as Zika does to achieving total victory, as she struggled to get up to that 6th rung on the salmon ladder. She had about 4 slip-ups on it, and she just couldn't get it. She was panicking. And Jelle, she slipped down a rung there and then shot, which definitely didn't help her, and she got pushed away. And that is it for Next Level Jumping Tournament 6, as we saw Jelle get to the final stage for her first time. And I thank you all so very much for watching this tournament, and I will see you guys very soon for Tournament 7 of Next Level Jumping. Farewell, everyone.